Hello, welcome to our presentation about the George R. Brown Convention Center in Avenida, Houston. This presentation is brought to you by Kayla McGee, Acesio Tesla, Courtney A. Smith, and Felipe Valencia. We are students in the Conrad N. Hilton Hospitality Management Master's Program. Let's take a look at our agenda. Today we will be discussing the methodology, history, mission statement, brand identity prism, semiotic square, surf call model, gap analysis, and recommendations for the George R. Brown Convention Center. George R. Brown opened on September 26, 1987. It was named after George Rufus Brown, who donated 6 of the 11 blocks required to build the convention center. In 1987, George R. Brown hosted its first convention, the American Society of Travel Agents. In 2001, construction began to further expand George R. Brown by building a 1,200-room convention hotel. This was completed in 2003 and named the Hilton Americas. In 2008, the Discovery Green was completed across the street. In preparation for Super Bowl 51, they began building the Marriott Marquis, and it was completed in 2016. With its master plan, the George R. Brown plans to ensure that downtown Houston is considered the entertainment district by 2025. To start, we will discuss the methodology behind our research. Our findings are based on over 200 reviews from Google, TripAdvisor, and Facebook. We had a sit-down interview with George R. Brown's General Manager and Vice President, John Gonzalez, and more than 25 hours of observation by our team. In order to align its values with its practices, we created this mission statement for the George R. Brown: to host the finest events while promoting Houston as one of the greatest cities in the world. The brand identity prism allows us to personify a company based on external and internal characteristics. The external side looks at the brand's physique, relationship, and self-image. George R. Brown's physique can be described as colorful, spacious, and futuristic. It was designed to reflect Houston's futuristic attitude. The relationship between George R. Brown and consumers is responsive, attentive, and memorable. There is always a person willing to guide and answer your questions. The self-image of consumers can be described as immersive, inclusive, and sociable. These are large events, and you always meet new people while you attend. The internal side looks at the brand's personality, culture, and self-concept. George R. Brown's personality is functional, explorative, and welcoming. It is a large space that serves a grand purpose. The culture of George R. Brown is described as diverse, bustling, and adaptable. There is always something happening, and people are always on the move. The self-concept of consumers can be perceived as inquisitive, engaged, and innovative. They are learning new things about their interests and able to bring it back to their companies.
The semiotic square allows us to compare motivations of a target market and identify a hidden group not being serviced. We use the scale of degree of professionalism and levels of leisure. On the professionalism side, we have corporate climbers and paid time off players. Corporate climbers are those who attend a conference because they are excited to learn about the industry. They want to be a sponge and climb the corporate ladder. The PTO players are those who are attending the conference because work requires them to do so. They are there to explore the city and have a good time while attending conference sessions in between. On the leisure level side, we have hobby lobbyists and bored weekenders. The hobby lobbyists are people who are extremely immersed in their hobbies. These are the ladies who attend the quilting conference every year in order to learn the latest tips and trends. The bored weekenders are those who want to be entertained on the weekend and are simply looking for something to get out and do. The hobby lobbyists and the corporate climbers can be categorized as industry enthusiasts. The hidden market we found were the drag-alongs, or the plus ones of those who are attending the conference. The surf call model allows us to understand and measure the quality of service provided to customers. We considered 4 or more stars positive and reviews with 3 or less stars negative. When looking at reviews from TripAdvisor, 78% were positive and 22% were negative. When looking at Google reviews, They showed 88% positive and 12% negative. Facebook reviews showed 94% positive and 6% negative. Overall, there was a total of 87% positive reviews and 13% negative reviews. Most people loved the ample amount of space, the food options, and the friendly employees. A lot of time and money was put into research and construction of the George R. Brown. Understandably, an overwhelming majority of the reviews were positive. In fact, there were so few negative reviews we found it difficult to group them. But based off our observation, we did find merit in negative reviews that spoke about parking, especially for disabled customers, the lack of direction, and spacing of restrooms. When we spoke with John Gonzalez, the Senior Vice President of Houston First and the General Manager of the George R. Brown Convention Center, he mentioned the center's desire to focus more on engagement with local Houstonians in Avondita, Houston. Our 25 plus hours at the George R. Brown allowed us to discover a few points of improvement. The George R. Brown has a wonderful Visit Houston HR app that allows attendees to see where they are and what's around them. Like dining options and entertainment, it even allows them to request an Uber or a Lyft from the app to whichever destination they decide on. However, when we asked conference attendees if they had downloaded or even been told about the app, many stated that they did not know it existed. There is also a lack of retail options available at the George R. Brown. There is one gift shop inside the convention center, but small shops around the convention center are scarce. The gap analysis identifies a mismatch between guest expectations and services delivered. In Gap 1, the design gap, we found problems with parking, with an emphasis of location for parking for the disabled. We also found a problem with them only having one Starbucks location. In Gap 2, the delivery gap, we found an issue with the way that they market their Visit Houston HR app. After analyzing information gathered from reviews, the interview, and our own observations, we were able to create recommendations based off of 3 key categories. The first category is functionality. Here we will speak about marketing the Visit Houston AR app, escalator closure notices, and handicap valet parking. The next category is engagement. Here we will speak about social media partnerships and pop-up shops. And lastly, in our looking forward category, we will speak about auto walks and the Starbucks edition. Currently, the George R. Brown markets their Visit Houston AR scanner app using flyers located at the help desk. We recommend instead that they use larger marketing materials for the app and place them strategically around the George R. Brown. Marketing the app this way will allow more guests to know it is available and give them the ability to get around more easily and learn about different dining and entertainment options in the downtown Houston area. We can all understand the frustration of having to walk out of your way to get to your desired location. When an escalator is out of order at the George R. Brown, they use caution tape to indicate that it's closed. This requires visitors to walk all the way up to the escalator just to find out that they cannot use it. We recommend that the George R. Brown be more mindful of escalator closures. But when an escalator absolutely has to be closed, we recommend that they use signs that state, "This escalator is temporarily closed. Please use the one further down." This will eliminate some of the frustration and save guests a few steps along the way. While there are handicapped parking spots available in the parking garages near the convention center, these can easily be a few hundred feet away from the nearest ticket booth, restroom, or expo hall. Offering valet parking for people with disabilities could easily make their trip to the George R. Brown more enjoyable. And with the George R. Brown's future plans to remove one of its closest parking garages and expand its convention space, offering valet parking for all will allow for a more efficient use of their remaining parking garages. Next, we will speak about the engagement category of our recommendations. The average American spends roughly 2 hours a day on social media. It has become the way that people share their life with others, showing what they're doing and who they're with. Today, people even follow others in the hopes of gaining inspiration to find a new place to go, a new food to try, and a new trend to wear. Studies show that 75% of people actually made food decisions based off of photos shared on social media. When analyzing the Instagrams of the 5 largest cities in America, we noticed that while Houston is the 4th largest city, its Visit Houston Instagram, run by the Convention Center, only has 45,000 followers, while Chicago, the 3rd largest city, has 216,000 followers, and Philly, the 5th largest city, has 184,000 followers. It is vital that the Convention Center grow its social media influence. Schools like TSU and the University of Houston only require about a 20-minute metro ride from the campus to the downtown area, costing roughly 75 cents. The George R. Brown could promote to students who attend these universities by encouraging them to take the metro more often and making them aware of when restaurants host events like trivia nights or when they'll be showing sports games of the respective schools. We also recommend that they promote to organizations like the Texas Nurses Association and the Houston Federation of Teachers, letting them know when they offer discounts that apply to them, and also by taking the time to generate family outings and meal deals that fit within the Houston's average household income of $49,000. Promoting to these groups and organizations will allow the convention to further reach out to groups like moms, families, college students, and professionals. According to MediaKicks, 89% of marketers say that return on investment is comparable or even better from influencer marketing than other marketing channels. And 89% of marketers say that Instagram is important to their influencer marketing strategy. In order to promote to these organizations, we should look at Instagrammers Dee and Emily. They have a combined total of 1.19 million followers. They promote things like fashion, lifestyle, and Houston as a whole. Next, let's take a look at Margaret. She promotes things like being a mom, loving Houston, being addicted to travel, and fashion. Then we have the Best Foods of Houston. They promote Houston's finest foods and eateries. They have a combined total of more than 200,000 followers. Partnering with them will allow Houston to reach out further into the community.
As a form of entertainment for locals and to reach George R. Brown's Hidden Market, we recommend they host pop-up shops. These will take place anytime there's a large conference or every weekend, allowing small businesses, local artists, and local restaurants to sell their products in front of George R. Brown would not only keep people entertained, but would help the Houston economy as a whole. Now on to the looking forward section of our recommendations. The George R. Brown is looking to expand the convention center in the next few years. There is currently only one Starbucks location. When reading the reviews, this caused some frustration among attendees. They are required to walk long distances or change floors in order to reach the Starbucks. We recommend the George R. Brown add an additional Starbucks, either in the form of a storefront or a moving cart. This would allow guests easier access to coffee, pastries, and even yogurt. When reading reviews, many customers stated how large the convention center actually is. Some even joked about being able to reach their daily Fitbit steps in only a few hours. As the George R. Brown plans to expand its convention space, we recommend they seriously consider implementing an auto walk. This would allow guests to move around much more efficiently and reach bathrooms quickly. My group and I would like to thank you for your time. We would like to extend a special thank you to John Gonzalez, General Manager of the George R. Brown and University of Houston alum. We hope you enjoyed our presentation.